같아 곧 내가 타고 다니는 건 달라지고 빨라졌지만 결국 가는 데 같아 질리게 겪어도 사랑 때문에 애 같아 이럴 때 보면 나도 아직 애 같아 살기보다.
And a glimpse inside the locker room. Players' final few moments to prepare for the game and the task ahead. Welcome, maybe the best day of the NBA. Thursday night, and we're happy you could be here with us. Tonight, it'll be the Washington Wizards going up against the Boston Celtics here in Boston. Alongside Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, I'm Kevin Harlan. Allie LaForce will be our reporter tonight on the sideline. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Taking a look at Boston, they're second in the conference and looking to finish strong heading into the playoffs. And, of course, the Washington Wizards. They have a lot of ground to make up.
And you know, for the Celtics, they've been on a tremendous run this season. All the pieces were in place coming into the year, and they haven't missed a beat. Great chemistry, great coaching, and potential to do some great things in the postseason.
Yeah, no one is taking them lightly. This is a team with everything you really need to make some noise in the playoffs.
And now Washington's starting group. They've got Keyshawn George. Carlton Carrington is out there with Johnson. Then it's Koulibaly. And it's Vukcevic in at the 5 down low. And for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown out there with Sam Hauser. And it's Vucevic. Then there's Derek White. And it's Shireman in at the 2. Good for the basket, starting off 1-for-1 with that shot. Now that we have over half of this season completed, Greg, what are you most interested in seeing moving forward?
I'm looking at which teams are going to make that playoff push, right? And which teams are content with slipping into the lottery. A lot will be determined over the next few weeks.
Now here's Brown. 23 points his last outing. Yep, it counts.
That's just Jaylen Brown putting in the work in close.
And it's Washington's ball. 4-point game. Pass to Carrington. George with the screen on Brown. Outside, George. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
Well, that's what the defense has to do. Make that shot as uncomfortable for him as possible.
White the pass to Brown. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Vucevic. And Vucevic pulls it down. They set the pick. Here's George. Here's Carrington. And again, Washington no good.
They haven't been able to find their rhythm. That's 3 straight misses now.
Now here's White. His last outing with 20 points. Pass to Vucevic. Now Brown. Boston needs to get off a shot. Hauser. No good with the triple.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And this Wizards team, Greg, giving its young players every opportunity to develop.
Yeah, these young guys were the NBA equivalent of drinking from a fire hose. But after years of just treading water and mediocrity, I think the fans appreciate the clear sense of direction from this group.
Now, here is George after Jaylen Brown's miss. The Wizards working the ball around now. Pass to Koulibaly. Now, here's Johnson. Shoots from the high post, and Vucevic pulls it down.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
And here's White. Pass to Vucevic. Brown outside. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. Brown's got 5 now.
Well, when you're as polished and practiced a shooter as Brown, there's no reason to hesitate.
Johnson right side. Carrington bounce pass. George finds Carrington. Koulibaly with a screen on White. And it's Carrington missing. Boston leading by 5. Down low. Here's Shireman. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
To the paint. Here's Vucevic.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Well, that's exactly what's needed when you're trying to turn things around.
And stolen by Koulibaly. Here's Carrington. Vucevic with the block.
Well, defensively, Vucevic was in great position and times that perfect.
And now, Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Jaylen Brown is rounding out his game in all facets. He said, I've definitely worked on my playmaking, just being able to see the floor, making great reads, creating for my teammates, and putting pressure on the defense. Back to you, Kevin.
Allie LaForce with the report. Hey, Allie, thanks. Here's Shireman. Pass to Vucevic. Over Carrington. Brown wide open. He fired. Off target with his three.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Now Johnson. We've got 28 seconds left in the first quarter. That one good for two.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the deep thinking jump shot, gave a little pump fake, and then off to the races.
Koulibaly against Brown. Over Carrington. And there is White. And that's good on the assist by.
He's going to make more often than not.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Boston on top, up 5. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep that kind of intensity for the entire game. But if they can come close to that, they'll be in a great spot.
So this is how the floor looks for the Wizards starting the second. Cooper is out there with Hardy. Then there's Riley. Then there's Gill. And it's Champagnie in at the 4. Here is Riley. His last outing, he had 18 points. Cooper against Richard. That's in, and the Celtic lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Cooper.
Boy, did he burrow his way in there, and the D just sort of backed off.
Pass to Walsh. Here's Queta. He's covered by Gill. Queta, the pass to Gonzalez. Here's Pritchard. To the middle. Here's Queta. And he jams it with authority.
Well, that's a great pass. He has the timing and rhythm of a metronome.
Here's Champagnie. Still without a basket. Nice ball movement by Washington. Riley against Gonzalez. Washington needs to get a shot off here. Hardy, no good. Boston leading by 5. Left side Gonzalez. And he uses the glass on the layup. Gonzalez has got his... And Brian Keefe wants a timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two.
Here they come, it's Celtics Entertainment.
Both teams will make substitutions. And the players on your screen now have been experts with the ball in their hands for the last 10 games, leading the small forward position in assists. Number 1, Jaylen Brown.
He just sees the entire floor so well. And from the wing, it's that vision that enables him to penetrate and find the open man in a very crowded area.
Yeah, and on top of his vision, he's just a naturally unselfish player, always looking to make the right play.
Here's Koulibaly. Still yet to score. Yep, that one goes.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Richard with the ball. Defended by Carrington. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Wizards trail by 5. And here's George for 3. Sinks the triple. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
Brown outside. GA here about 3 levels scored. But is it just 3 levels?
That's a great point. Kevin, you've got guys with that deep range, and there's a difference between the mid-range game, those floaters, the little 12-footers, and those deep twos as well. So maybe 5-level score is complete. Think of like a 5-2 player in baseball.
And that one falls for White. I know some would classify Derek White as underrated. Stan, what's your read on him?
Well, Kevin, I would say he was underrated for a long time, but now I think we've all gotten smarter, and we all realize Derek White is one of the best guards in this league, period. I don't think he's underrated anymore, and I just think it took us a long time to catch up with how good he is. I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
George, no good.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Outside, White. Jacks up a 3. And they get it back. They get it back. And he dunks it down.
And using his length, getting in close to stuff it down. That's just too easy.
Pass to Vukcevic. Now Carrington. The Wizards working the ball around now. And that one's good, George.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
And the shot goes in. Brown's got 7 points in the game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Back to Carrington. There's a screen. George looking around. Carrington up top. White covering. And it's Carrington missing. Celtics leading by 6. Outside, White. Pass to Hauser. On the wing, Brown. Defended by George. Lets it go with a 3. And it's White missing. Wizards trail by 6. Now Carrington. Now Koulibaly. Now Carrington. Drives to the hoop. And here's George for 3. The rebound by Cada. Cada's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Here's the screen. White falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look.
Here's Koulibaly. 8 points his last outing. 7-second difference. Shot game clock. Driving the lane. Banked in off the glass.
See, now that layup isn't possible without the help of the pick.
Now Brown. has 7. Over George. Brown, no good. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Celtics lead by 6. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
17.
Hello, folks. The first half is in the books, and we've got a lead on the scoreboard for the Boston Celtics.
I like what they're doing. Playing with physicality, they've worked hard to gain the edge in areas like rebounding.
Yeah, that's the difference in the game.
And it's time now for the best part of the show. Let's see what the fans have to say. Master Funkman asks if you could harness the power from one of your former team's nicknames, which would it be?
Well, that's easy for me. The Kings. They have a lot of power. But I'm going to probably go with the Rockets because I could fly at a very high speed.
That's easy. I'll take the Magic because my powers would be limitless.
Good choices. I'm not sure what kind of powers you'd be getting if you went with the Lakers.
Maybe take out my yacht.
And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Without question, George is playing his skills today.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
And so Brown will bring it up for Boston. 6-point lead. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. They'll find themselves in the middle of the string of 3 straight at home. They've got Vucevic. Sam Hauser is out there with Brown. Then it's White. And it's Shireman in at the shooting guard. That's the Boston 5. It's stolen by White. To the right side. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Wizards. On the wing, Carrington. Pass to George. Johnson in the corner. There's the 3. Jaylen Brown with the rebound.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backcourt.
And he comes up with the deuce.
Well, listen, White doesn't fear anyone inside. He wants to get down low and cash in.
Outside, George. Back to Carrington. Pass to Johnson. Got a piece of it. Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Hey, well, the Celtics have a great 1-2 punch with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Tatum said JB always starts the game really aggressive. I'm a naturally laid-back guy. I kind of see things out first, and then I can essentially take over when I need to. We have found that balance. Back to you.
A dangerous duo for sure. All right, Allie, we appreciate the report. Now, here's Brown. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. And you think of all that Jaylen Brown has accomplished, Coach? Top of the list, 2024 Finals MVP.
Yeah, look, it's tough to beat that as an accomplishment, Kevin. Win your team a championship and be the biggest part of it. But what I love about Jaylen Brown is the consistency of what he's done throughout his career. This guy has been good for a long time, and he's still got a long way to go.
When it comes to Jaylen Brown, Greg, what qualities does he add to a team?
Well, I love how active and physical he is. He poses such a difficult challenge on both sides of the ball. With a Finals MVP award to his credit, you know he's as mentally tough as anyone in our league.
And you look at the G League's impact on player development, Greg, it's become very significant.
And I think the two-way contract was a great addition as well, allowing players to contribute with the big league team while also developing in the G League. What a great combination.
Lets it go from 11. Johnson can't hit.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And White kicks to Brown. Rebounded by the Wizards. Koulibaly's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's George. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. The Wizards with another miss.
And guys, his shot hasn't been falling this quarter. Time to settle down, refocus, and get a really high percentage look.
Wizards trail by 10 to end the drought. Carrington with the ball. Still scoreless. Johnson a wide open look, and Johnson missing again.
Familiar results for him. He can't get anything to go.
Vucevic setting the pick for Brown. And Vucevic with the basket on the assist by Brown. Vucevic has got the lead up to 12 now for Boston. Wizards have got a paltry 0-6 to begin the third quarter. What a terrible start to the half. And Brian Keefe wants a timeout. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Celtics making a switch here. Richards checked in. And a change for the Wizards. Champagne's checked in. Here's Carrington. Nothing on the board. Here's Koulibaly. Pass to Vucevic. Shot clock at 6. Here's Johnson. And he's back in business as a jumper finally drops for him.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
Here's Shireman. He's defended by Koulibaly. Here's Shireman.
That's what you want to get. Vucevic from point-blank range.
Johnson outside. Back to Carrington. To the left wing. Releases. Vucevic can't hit.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
Here's Shireman. And there are the Celtics with another basket.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
Yeah, to put together this kind of performance at both ends of the floor on the road, it's impressive.
Here's Champagnie. Still scoreless. And that one, good.
And even though it wasn't a great screen, he found a way to create some space.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Johnson against White. Pass to Shireman. Now, here's Vucevic. That's a 2 from Pritchard. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. Johnson outside. Puts up a deep 3. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Boston enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his team.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. They've got Hardy. He's out there with Riley. Gill is out there with George. And it's Champagnie in at the power forward.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Out of bounds, Washington takes possession.
Washington ball.
Wizards trail by 12. Pass to Gill. Here's Champagnie. George with a screen on Pritchard. And that one's good. Hardy's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Washington. Brown against Riley. Down low. Out to Gonzalez. Three-pointer, Pritchard. Rebound, Washington.
Even though it hasn't been his best game, they're still up, and that's what's important.
Pass to Hardy. Here's Gill. Now George. Lets the three fly. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his fifth make on 9 shots from the floor.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score a ball, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to step up.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He has decided it's the right time to talk.
Let's get loud, man, for Celtics Entertainment.
Sam Hauser's checked in for the Celtics. And the Wizards making a change here as well. Vucevic is checked in. Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
During that last break, I heard Joe Mazzulla as he talked with the team. He told his guys, quote, "Do not get complacent. No coasting to the finish line here. Stay on the gas, keep the energy up, and close it out." Coach doesn't just want them to hang on to this lead. He wants them to extend it.
All right, Allie, thank you. Now here's Brown. And that one hits back iron. Houston takes possession.
Yeah, what a disconnect. Sloppy play like that is something they can expect to come up in the film session.
Outside, White. Vucevic down low. And Vucevic pulls it down. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And he gets it to go.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Pass to Brown. Strong finish through the contact from Brown.
Terrific finish there from Brown. He goes up strong and absorbs the contact.
Spins. Johnson, he puts him in the spin cycle. Count it.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
White outside. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Gonna go. Wizards trail by 5. Johnson right side. George sets a screen. It's stolen. Here's Vucevic.
Well, defending Vucevic, it's rough and tumble.
Third personal foul, first team foul. At the line for the Celtics, Nikola Vucevic. At the line for 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6.
Well, he's as steady as they come at the big man position. Vucevic is someone you can count on to help you shoulder some of the offensive load.
So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Well, that's a good job of capitalizing at the line, adding some cushion to their lead.
A great pass leads him right to the rack.
Talk about timing. That lead pass was right on cue.
First personal foul, first team foul. At the line for the Wizards, Vucevic. 1 shot.
Despite getting hacked there and big on the back end to hit the free throw.
And he jams it in.
Yeah, just powerful stuff from Vucevic.
Wizards trail by 6. Now Carrington. There's 1:26 left in the fourth quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Johnson fires off the glass.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
And I can tell you from experience, these are the types of things that drive coaches crazy.
It's tipped. Outside Brown. The 19-foot shot. And it doesn't go. And the Wizards with possession. They're on a 14-6 run. Johnson, that's in there.
That is world class.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Vucevic setting the pick for White. Here's Brown. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
Yeah, and you know they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
Here's Hauser.
Washington foul. Koulibaly. Fourth personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown. At the line for 2 shots.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he ends up making the second, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And we've got a timeout called by Brian Keefe. Pivotal moment in this game. He's not taking any chances. He'll call time. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that hole?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here to stay alive.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy, and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick.
Let's see it.
Outside Koulibaly. Johnson outside. Missed on the 3. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Team foul. At the line for the Celtics, Jaylen Brown. At the line for 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 5-point game.
Hey, talk about a cool customer. Icing this one with some clutch free throw.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're down by 5. What do you think Coach's focus is going to be here?
Looking for a quick shot, trying to extend the game.
Yeah, and then they have to foul quickly and hope for some misses at the line.
Here's Johnson. Stolen. And so it's the Boston Celtics with the W. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And let's hear from Allie LaForce, who joins us from the sideline. Allie?
Thank you very much. Jalen, you had it going. Can you talk about the confidence you had tonight?
Just trying to continue to show people what I can do, continue to get better. It's a long journey. It's a process. I still got a long way to go and a lot to learn, so I'm going to just keep going up.
It's all part of the journey. Thanks, Jalen.
Good stuff, Allie. Thanks. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. And for all of us here at the table, Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony and our terrific sideline reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us tonight. But as we go,